What is going on, guys? Sentraxion here. And this is part 2. This footage was recorded right after, so it'll start off right from where we left off last time, besides the outro I made, so I'll see you after. Next creature we have is the mammoth here. You can tame these guys in the Arctic, and you ride around on them, and that's basically all they do, really. They're just good at gathering wood and berries. Like, say I was to go over here to these berry bushes and cactuses here. Like, look at all that. I don't get cactus sap from that. And pretty good wood, too. So that's the mammoth. What I think would be really cool if there's, like, a furless mammoth for the desert and, like, scorched earth. Because that would give a bit more variety. Like, basically an elephant, like Atlas has, so. That would be really cool if they had, like, an elephant for the desert in Scorched Earth and Ragnarok. I think that's something they should do. But they don't really work on Scorched Earth, I guess, anymore, because they're working on new maps, like Extinction, and Aberration's even newer than it, so you got that. Now we're doing the Megalania. This thing, like, it just crawls around, basically, and in the wild, they're really annoying when you're on foot. They're in caves, and they're also in that little spot, like, in between the highlands and the volcano over there, Black Sands, I think it's called. And if they bite you when you're on foot, you're most likely going to get mega rabies, which means you're most likely going to die. It doesn't do much damage, though, but the good thing it can do, it can climb up walls. Like cliffs, walls, like other people's bases, it can just climb up them. Like that. And unlike the Thyla, which can't really like stay on them too well, it can just stay here, and I can just go like this. And like I don't have any ammo in that, but I could just shoot like with this, like boom. Like I could just shoot this giga here. If I was on top of someone's base, I could just like sit on top of their base. And I could just like sit on top of their base, shoot down at their animals. And unless they have flyers that are on neutral, which actually usually most people keep their flyers on passive. I know I keep my flyers on passive. Because then when they get attacked, when I'm not on them, when I'm getting drops or something, they don't fly away after the creature. And I'm stranded there, so. You could just shoot down at their creatures, their gigas, their rexes, all that stuff. And all the creatures would be dead. You can just go down there and raid their base. So that's really amazing creature. Next we have the Megaloceros. This thing is like a satch beast. It's basically found in the redwoods, sometimes in the Arctic too. I don't know if you can find them on the desert over there. Maybe, but they basically gather thatch, run around like this. I really like these guys. They're really cool. One of my favorite creatures too. The moose, they're really good. They gather thatch good. Then we have the Megatherium. I currently have an army of these on my Ark of the Island series, and I'm going to use them to fight the Broodmother. So they gather a ton of chitin and have a boost against, what's it called, bugs. And I don't know if the Broodmother counts, but I'm going to test it out. If the Broodmother counts, these things would do so much damage to the Broodmother. Yeah, they do like 400 damage already, the ones I have in the series, so like once they have the bug boost. Against bugs, they do like 800 damage, so that's like amazing. Next we have the Microraptor. These things, it looks like an Archaeopteryx, but it's not. I get them confused all the time, and I don't care about them, and then it's a Microraptor. They swoop down from the air, and they'll knock you right off your tame. If your tame's not on neutral, well, then you're gonna get destroyed. Because this thing does quite a bit of damage. That's all they do. They're easy to tame, knock them out, feed them some meat, and they're really cool. That's all. Next we have the little monkey. It's passive tame. If you touch it, it's gonna start running from you. That's annoying. It doesn't really do much except in PvP if you throw it into someone's base who has windows, which I never have windows in my base, so. or if you can get it in their base any other way, they'll open up the door for you. I think it only works with wood, thatch, and maybe the reinforced stone doors, but it's still pretty good, so that's the little monkey. Then you have the Moz Chop. This thing, before the TLC for it, you couldn't ride on it, and it basically was crap, so. This version, since you can ride on it, it's pretty good. And you can level up its things still, like once it levels up, you can like level up its harvesting levels, all of this stuff, like sap, and you can make it harvest more stuff. If you have like a penguin farm, this thing's really good for that. If you want rare flowers, just carry this guy down on your RG. If you don't have a Therizino to like the cattails, harvest them up, you got your rare flowers, that's all they do. Next we have the Onyx. I've never tamed this thing before. In the caves, they give you mega rabies if they bite you, sometimes. I've even got it off my mount somehow. They bit my baryonyx and somehow I got mega rabies, but the baryonyx didn't, so that was really strange. That was the lava cave. Not when I did the video. When I did the video, when I was getting the artifact, it also bit me, which was really annoying. And I got mega rabies that way. But I've done it before when I've been on the baryonyx and it's bit me, so that's annoying. Then next we have the Oviraptor. Tame these guys with eggs. Their kibble is giga eggs. So that's gonna be really hard to tame. I tamed one with like 15 tech parasaur eggs on the island, so. And they give like a boost to your creatures in egg laying or something, I don't know. Next we have the Ovis. These guys give mutton. I can't ride it. Well, I can ride it, but it doesn't move. Its weight's not good. You can make a farm for these guys and just like get the babies to give you mutton and all that. That's basically all they do. They're really rare on the island here on Ragnarok. They're easy to find over in the highlands that way and over that way. Next we have the Parathur. You can build a base on these guys. They're just a knockout tame. That's basically all they do. They've just got this attack, and that's the only attack. They live in the swamp. The only difficult part about taming them is where they live, so. And they also live in the desert, so that's a much safer spot to tame them. Next you have the Pteranodon. And so the Pteranodon, it's basically everyone's first flyer. And besides, unless you have like a Pelagornis, so these guys are really good. Next you have, well, they're fast at least. It might not be the best flyer, but they're fast, so. I've tamed bees with them even, so. I already said that in my bee video, but whatever. Next we have the Packy. These things are just so cool, at least I think they're cool. They aren't really used for anything, they're just cool. Except for their egg, which isn't gonna be useful anymore. Next we have the Parasaur. This thing is basically just a starter tame. That's all it is. You can run around getting your thatch, your berries, all that stuff. You have to point at the ground to get berries though, which is annoying. Like you have to go like this to get the berries instead of just going like that, so. Next we have this little thing, the adorable otter. I already did a video on taming these guys, so you can go check that out. But these guys are so adorable. They'll get you your silica pearls, and they sit on your shoulder. They can carry more than one artifact, and they keep you warm, so that's it. Then next is the Pelagornis, the seagull thing that you can ride on, the bigger seagull, the non-annoying one. You can like land on the water with them. So you can gain stam on the water. It's a really weird noise coming from my headset. That's it, but yeah, these things. I think this thing broke my headset. I don't know why. But that's all it does. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, so hopefully you can't, because all I hear in my head is like a big buzzing noise coming from my headset. So next we have the pig. It's just a pig, so it doesn't do much. Next we have the kangaroo. This thing is really cool, because it's got really good jumping distance. And that's all it really does. It's got good jumping distance, and another person can go in its pouch right there. It's weird how the males and female kangaroos both have pouches, so that's a little bit strange. And that's really all the kangaroo does. Next we have the scorpion. Not really any use in taming this after the kibble rework. It does a little bit of torpor. You can find it in caves or on mountains. That's all it does. Next we have this, the Perlovia. These guys are really good for PvP. Because you can just put your stuff in him and make him bury down. Put him on passive, and he'll just stay in the ground. No one else can see this mound here. So, if it's someone else's, you can't see this mound here. And you can even put it right in your base and make it bury down. And it can just be like in the ground there, and just store your good loot in it. Like, I could just put like ascendant assault rifles, ascendant hatchets, mastercraft, chainsaw, all my good loot, and no one would find it. So then we have the Quetzal. I already did a solo tame video on this guy. Basically bungee jump off your RG, knock it out that way. They're slow, but they can carry a lot of creatures, so that's good. Next we have the Rex. Everyone needs this Rex. And everyone tames a Rex at some point. It makes that large growling noise, and it's got the regular attack. Dragon, probably not the best choice. Use something smaller since it does percentage damage. The bigger your creature is, the more damage the dragon's breath does to it, so don't use them for the dragon fight. The Broodmother fight they're good for. The Megapithecus fight they're probably the best creature for. Okay, next we have the Raptor. This thing's got its regular attack, and it's got the jump attack. Mobile recently added the jump attack, so in the wild, these things are really annoying. You gotta bolas them, otherwise there's nothing else to do. They're just gonna completely kill you if you don't have a tame with you that's gonna attack them. Egg. Okay, so that's the Raptor. Next we have the Thaber. These guys, pretty good for caves. Any cave that doesn't fit a baryonyx, I usually normally use either a Raptor, or I use a Saber or a Direwolf, something like that. They don't really do much else, so they're just basically a Direwolf that can have a saddleless armor. Next we have the Sarco. Doesn't really do too much. It can be annoying sometimes. It's just got this attack, and it's got the spin attack that like dismounts you or something. It can swim, and it's not bad, but it's not really that good either. Now that the kibble rework happened, a lot of creatures are useless. Like you have your scorpion, you've got this guy. A lot of creatures have just been rendered useless because of that. I don't really like that kibble rework, so. Next we have the Spino. Now this creature I do like. And it can swim, it's got the bite, and it really just has the bite attack. It doesn't really have many other attacks. It's basically it's got a hydration buff though. Its speed, health, regeneration, and damage are all boosted when it's in the water, so that is really good. It's basically like a Rex that lives in the water. I like them better than Rexes. They're much cooler to me. At least I think they're much cooler. So, next we have the Stego. These things used to be much more important, but since then they've added stuff like the Therizino, the Iguanodon. These things aren't really that important anymore. And now the kibble rework. These things are more like a wild creature that's just there to flesh out the environment. You don't really need these anymore because they're pretty slow. You'd be much better getting your Therizino or your Iguanodon since they're much faster, much stronger, and are better at gathering too. Then next we have the Tapahara. These things are a pain to get bolas because normally they're way up in the air, and that's really all they do. They can get a tech saddle though, that's pretty beast. And you can just ride around on them. They're like the step in between the RG and the Quetz, or maybe it's in between these, Pteranodon. It's sort of like in between the Pteranodon and the Quetz. I don't know if it's in between the RG and the Pteranodon or the RG and the Quetz. They're sort of, it's sort of around the same as the RG, but it's used for different purposes. It can't carry as much, but it's faster than an RG. So, then next we have the Terror Bird. These guys can be annoying, but they can be really good too. I can't ride this right now because I'm way too heavy. But basically, if you jump off a cliff with them, you can just glide down. They're in the redwoods. You can't just do powered flight, like just jump up and start flying. But if there's a hill, you can, so they're really good that way. Titan Boa, I used 3 wyvern eggs to tame one of these once. Don't tame this thing. They're cool, but they don't do anything. Unless you're PvPing and have like 80 of them in your base, which would be really expensive. Thanos, it took me 3 wyvern eggs to tame one, like level 150. Although that is a really good creature. It's just not worth it, really. Then next we have this guy. The Thyla. Can we run up this tiny tree? I wouldn't think so. Maybe though, I don't know. This rock here, we can probably run up this, right? Yeah. I couldn't get them to grip onto this stuff though, like the Megalania can. So I'd say the Megalania is better. Although this thing is much stronger and much faster than it. The Megalania is by far the better climber. So that's all that does. Next we have the Therizino. I also recently did a video on this guy's taming. You can claw. It's got this to gather rare flowers and plant X seeds from the cattails and also fiber. And it's got this. This is really good attack too. For the metal. I don't know if that video came out yet, so I don't want to spoil too much of that if that hasn't come out yet. But that's your Therizino. Next you have the Titanosaur. These guys are the ultimate raiding creature. They break everything, including tech. So the Arthroplura, they actually updated it recently, so it can also break tech. So now you got 2 creatures that can break tech. So this guy has 2 attacks. He's got that stomp and he's got this stomp. Although these things are really good, on official servers and stuff, unless raid dino feeding is enabled, you cannot feed these guys. Once they run out of food, they die. So that's all the Titanosaur does. These things are impossible to tame really solo. I'm going to try attempting to tame it solo eventually, but it's probably not going to turn out too well because you have to literally get on like a Quetz and literally shoot cannonballs at its head. And like it's the same thing as the rock golem in Scorched Earth. You have to hit its head with cannonballs or catapults. But the only difference is the rock golem is like the size of its leg and its head is like the size of its thigh there. This thing is huge and its head is like the smallest part of its body. And I don't think its neck counts. So, and also, it's much faster than a rock golem. And I don't think that if it's like staying still, you can't like trap it and then just shoot cannonballs at its head. So taming this thing is a lot of work, but you don't need to wait to feed it or anything. You just put its saddle on. And yeah, I died there. But that's it. Next we have the Triceratops. A starter tame. It's got just its regular attack, and it also has this charge up attack. See how the little charge meter's going up? Now what we can do, we can just run really fast forward, and we'll deal like so much damage to whatever we hit. So, and if there's a pack of these in the wild, they have like some red glow around their head or something, that if they hit you with that charge attack, it like makes your creature or you go like all wonky and stuff. So there's that. Then next we have the Trilobite. You can kill this guy actually to get black pearls. They're untamable, but they're still pretty cool. I like them. That's all they really do though. They don't really do much else. Then next we have the Troodon. These things are really annoying in the wild, but they're like not really used for anything besides their pack animals. So the way to tame them, you have to sacrifice your tames to them, and your tames cannot be on passive, and night is the best time to do it, because it has like a boost to effectiveness at night or something. So basically the best way to get some high level wyvern eggs from the wyvern trench, like 100 around, after, like when you don't need them. And what you can do, damage them till they have like 10 health, put them on neutral, fly them into the cage, jump off, Trudon kills them, and you have your tamed Trudon. If you want a really high level one, that is. But that's really all these guys do. Next we have the woolly rhino. I really like these things. They're tamed like in the Arctic, and you speed up on them. Like, look how quickly this thing goes. It's like the farther you run, the faster it gets, and the more damage it'll do too. Like, it could just go boom, and anything that I ran into would get wrecked. That's really all they do though. They're knockout tames, pretty simple. There's like some runes near the snow cave in the island that you can use to tame these. Just lure them to those, stay on one side and shoot them on the other side. Then next we have the Utyrannus. And my third video on the channel actually was taming these guys. A max level one of these actually. And they can roar to give all your creatures a courage boost. I don't know why it's not giving my creatures a courage boost. Maybe it only works on certain creatures. I don't know. I don't know why they're not getting courage boosted though. That's a little bit weird. Oh, you know why? Now, oh. It might be because I was using the wrong. Maybe it's not from the players only. Maybe it's because I was like using the wrong courage boost. As you can see here, you can see which creatures don't get courage roared. You've got the woolly rhino, that won't get a courage boost. Looks like the titanosaur won't, the trike won't. Do Therazinos not? Oh. Do Therazinos not? No, they do. It was just out of range. Titan boa does. Wow. Okay. So you can see the scorched earth creatures over here. There. I don't know if this video is coming out before that or that video is coming out first, but yeah. These guys, you need them for the boss fight, the courage roar. It's really important. Then next we have the tech raptor. It's basically a regular raptor, except when you kill it, they updated it so it gives robotic parts now. And you got the Quetzal. These things also can spawn at higher levels than the regular. Like, they can go up to like 210, I think. No, 180 actually. They can go up to 180 like this tech Quetzal here. And these are all the natural colors. Like this pink color, it's natural. This is not painted or mutated or anything. It's a natural colored tech Quetzal. Spawned in though, obviously, because I'm not going to actually go around taming all these creatures for this video. But yeah, that's your tech Quetzal. Then you got same with your tech Rex. You can just spawn at a higher level. You got your tech Stego, tech Parasaur. Then we got the alpha creatures next. Alpha Carno, killing it will give you the Alpha Carno arms and a Rex Bone helmet skin and also maybe some loot. Alpha Raptor will give you some loot and the Alpha Raptor claw as well as the Rex Bone helmet skin. Those guys are really beast looking. All the alphas are really beast looking actually. Then we got the Alpha Rex, killing that will give you the Rex Bone helmet skin, the Trike Bone helmet skin. It'll give you the Rex trophy and usually pretty good loot. And I guess that's every creature here. So, that's actually every creature. So that's every creature on the island. If I missed one, actually, like, say it below in the comments. Obviously, water creatures aren't in this video because I already did a video, or it might not have been out by now. But, yeah, there's a video that I have either already put out or am going to put out on the water creatures because this video is already long enough. If you added the water creatures in with this, it would be a way too long of a video. So, if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe for more. Sentraxion, out.